Right, okay. I think you've got a starter, haven't you?
Yes, I'm really interested in the theme of this conference, which is how to bring the life and soul back into Gestalt. And I think it's very exciting to think about how people can come in and bring a range of ways to show who they are and kind of offer an evidence-based practice that has a really rigorous underpinning of the theory.
That suggests that the life and soul of Gestalt therapy has gone somewhere.
Yes.
Where has it gone? If it has gone at all.
Yes. Well, I'm not sure it's gone away completely, but I do really think that it's lost its way a bit and needs the support and really solid backing of us as a kind of inclusive community to support people to come through in a range of ways and show who they are.
And maybe getting lost is part of the journey.
Yeah.
Because if you think of the Gestalt cycle, then there's the withdrawal stage, isn't there?
Yes.
And all the interruptions, all the ways that we get lost in our lives, is part of finding ourselves as well, isn't it?
Yes. And I think that perhaps what might have happened is it's been a movement too fast into and missing out that fertile void, which is a lovely moment when you do stop and consider and really find self again before you engage in something that can be perhaps all too demanding and lose oneself again.
Or finding a different aspect of self.
Yes.
Of which there are many.
Yes. And I think it's about drawing on support. I think Laura Pearls had a lot to bring to this, that I'm really pleased she's once again being really celebrated and bringing in support for the ground that about finding self in relation to and continuing the dialogue.
Because that's where she was particularly strong, wasn't it? It was just opening to the moment of a dialogue. That is why we were inspired to do this very thing now, without actually knowing where we're going to go. And that's for me is part of the excitement of Gestalt therapy. Always holding the unknown, opening to the new.
Yes.
At the same time as having all the structures of the old.
Yes.
To as our ground to hold us as we move into each new moment, like this one now.
Yes, and I think it's the kind of co-emergent. I think what comes between us in this, Tim, is really important, and that is about contact, and that is about an openness and a real validation and importance of seeing the other. And holding on to self and bringing together that in between that I think is really important at this point in time.
And I'm noticing how that's happening here and now with you and I talking. Is that I feel your support and I'm finding more of me as I listen to more of you.
Yes. And I'm doing the same in so much as I think this is a really intimate moment, and I think we're thinking strategically, which I think is one of the terms that's been used today that feels really inspiring.
Yes, so we're being strategic and intimate. In the celebration of the between.
Yes, and I think that's Gestalt where it's most alive and vital, and where I'm really passionate about engendering that in others.
Absolutely.
And in us, as we're doing.
What a gift.
Yeah.
Bang on. Thank you very much.
Okay.
Yeah, that's brilliant. Cheers.
Thank you.
Hey, hi, my name is Adam Kinsel. I am a psychotherapist and trainer. I live and work in London, but I also do some work internationally for Caucasus Institute of Gestalt Therapy and Bulgarian Institute for Psychotherapy.
Brilliant. So could you tell me, the first question I want to ask you is, how does the Gestalt conference differ from other conferences that maybe you've been to? What's different here, would you say?
Well, there are a couple of differences. One is to compare a typical research conference with Gestalt conference that already brings a different dynamics. We don't have poster presentations. What we do is much more interactive. We pay attention to the process, which brings the depth to almost every presentation that is offered and every meeting, but also requires us to be more present and bring ourselves in that way, which sometimes may be difficult but also very rewarding. And if it comes to Gestalt conferences, I think this UK AGP conferences are particularly special because of current consideration of people who are organizing them. There is a quality of time quite often offered because of fertile voice that are done in the program. Usually conferences are so busy that I feel exhausted and I have to rest and sleep for a few days after it. And in this conference, there's time to go for workshops and time to learn, but also time to get to know other people, time sometimes to lie down on the grass and just reconnect with our bodies.
That's everything. That's fantastic.
Fantastic.
Yeah, that's brilliant. That's great. I can use pretty much all that. Thank you.
So I'm Vicky, and I've been the organizer of this conference, and I'm just so happy, just one session to go now, and it's all going right, and everyone seems really enthusiastic, and everyone's individuality has been heard, I feel, so I feel so thrilled that it has come together and people seem to be enjoying it, and it feels like such an achievement of the whole committee, but of everyone, of the community. Really pleased that it's happening.
There's a lot of happy faces out there. I will say, I film quite a lot of conferences, and I don't usually see many people smiling like this. So, what is it that's different with Gestalt conferences to maybe a more sort of a different type of conference? Because I can certainly see the difference.
I think it was. I don't know what's different because I don't go to many of non-Gestalt, but what I know is what we try to do this time is to really give a space that people will feel able to step in and take it and make it their own. So that's what it feels, like hosting, but not restricting, not saying these are the rules. Just giving a frame for people to come and yes, we given an agenda. Yeah, we given some questions and it's like preparing the ground for something, and then people come and they bring the more amazing things. That's what feels different. But so people seem to be enjoying the fact that they can be themselves and they can do what they do and talk about it and meet other people that do something similar or very different. And,
yeah, it's beautifully relaxed. I'll go with that.
Okay, good.
That's brilliant. Thank you very so much. So, one question I've asked quite a few people is, how would you say that this Gestalt conference is different to maybe more mainstream kind of conferences that people go to? Would you say there's a definite difference between the two types?
Do you mean this one particularly, or Gestalt conferences?
I would say this one particularly because that's the one we're looking at for next year. What's different to this than maybe people who've been to a lot of conferences will say?
Well, I'm not sure it is that different. I don't think it is that different in that for me what comes to conference is about contact and seeing people I know, meeting people I don't. And what I noticed that there's a similarity between this conference and last year, in that both of them I didn't really want to go to, which is interesting. And yet I did, and I'm pleased with that. Always pleased. But there's something that irritates me a bit about the road Gestalt is dying, because I don't think it is. I think maybe it's not fitting in to the field conditions at the moment.
It's growing in some countries, isn't it, from what I picked up?
Yes, it is growing in some, particularly in the UK. But Gestalt as a whole, as opposed to just Gestalt therapy, I think is only out.
So, what's been the highlight of? You say you maybe weren't that looking forward, that enthusiastic before. No, what can you maybe pinpoint something like? Has there been a single moment in this conference where things have clicked a little bit, or is it just a general overall?
No, it's just a general overall feeling of being with the community and realising that other people. That we need contact and we need support, and especially as individual therapists, we're often not on our own. So to be part of a community that helps us sustain us in the world is really important.
And so
I think that is what UK AGP holds.
okay, that's good. I suppose have you met people from all over? Yeah, I kind of get a soundbite about from how far people have travelled. Type of things. There's some people out there who have come from India, places like that.
Yeah, I've just been talking to someone who came from New Zealand, which was very exciting. And she'd come over and done another Gestalt workshop. Just down the road from where I live actually. And she, hearing her, she has very little in her own country. So it makes me feel grateful that we do have this organisation.
Puts it in perspective.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's brilliant. Thank you very much. I shall cut around that. Thank you.
So I think I have really enjoyed being at this conference. I found it stimulating. It's enabled me to reconnect with the Gestalt community, and it's informed me of the changes that are happening in the Gestalt community, and to see how there's so much innovation that's still happening. I've been in the field a long time, and I've enjoyed coming and just hearing and experiencing that.
Has there been a good, would you say there's been a good cross-reference of people who have been in it for a while and new people, or is it mainly sort of experienced members here?
I think there has been a good cross-reference. It's been good to see the trainees who come and added their voice to what is for me, an experienced field. Yes, I think this has been a good course.
Fantastic. Is there anything that you would say sets conferences like the Gestalt conferences like this? I mean, I film quite a lot of conferences, and there's certainly a different vibe in this to maybe a lot of other ones that I've done. Do you think you can maybe try and see if you can put that into words, if you can maybe explain what's different about what you guys do to maybe other conferences that people have been on?
It's just really difficult to capture that actually in words. I would say one of the things is it's dynamic. It's a way of being that is organic. So it does allow for that energy to rise and that interaction which is caused by that energy to take place in the moment. I think that's how I would describe it. It's dynamic.
I think that's a really good word, actually. That's a good word. Right, you're done if you want. I can take that. I know. Thank you. We're ready to go?
Ready? So my name is Sylvia. I'm going to my second year of Gestalt training at Metanoia, or at least I hope to do so in September, coming September. This is my first UK GP conference, and prior to it I felt such apprehension about coming here, meeting people I wouldn't normally meet, and it's been great, and the sense of community, the sense of belonging that I just in the space of this morning and listening to the lecture I don't want to put a lecture because it was interactive, but it's fascinating. It's brought up so many different facets of Gestalt for me, and it's really reinvigorated my love of Gestalt. So I would certainly recommend coming. Just go with it.
That's fantastic. Do you know what? That's brilliant. That's all I need. That's
Thank
fine.
you,
That's
brilliant.
great. I can use that. See? Wasn't so bad.
No, don't you? Don't tell me that.
No, that's great. Thank you.
Lovely, thank you.
Yeah. Hi, Joseph. Do you want to come and chat to us?
Yeah.
Shall I tell my experiences?
Sorry?
Shall I tell my experience?
Yes, that's right. That's exactly
Okay,
what we
okay,
want.
okay.
So it's going to be sort of used to promote next year's festival, next year's conference, really. So it's just tell us about your experience, how you found it. I'll just let you talk.
Sure. Yeah, I am Joseph from India. I am in a short visit to UK. I heard about the UK Association of Gestalt Therapy conference, then I thought of attending this conference today. I find it the conference very useful, and I am delighted to have a dialogue with the different people of the other world, for the other part of the world. And this is this is the third international conference for me in Gestalt therapy. I first attended a Gestalt therapy training program in France. Then the same program was organized in Kerala, India. Then I also was a co-organizer of Gestalt therapy workshop in Nigeria in 2012. So now this is the fourth time I attend a Gestalt therapy conference. I find it very useful. Gestalt therapy principles are very useful in positive mental health of the people. Not only it is not only a treating modality, it can be utilized by the health system to promote mental health of people. Thank you very much.
Brilliant, that's perfect. That was great. Thank you very much, Joseph. Appreciate that.
My name is Gillian. I'm a Gestalt psychotherapist and a drama therapist. So I've come along today because I really like meeting other people, other Gestaltists in particular.
Fantastic. No, that's absolutely fantastic. So what have you experienced so far since you've been into the conference? We've had a morning now. What's been the highlight of your morning, would you say, so far?
I really like Madeline's presentation, and I like the fishbowl idea. That worked really well, to hear different people, the way that people could come in really gently, and it didn't feel like a pressure, people could slip in and out, and that it was still, they were dialoguing with each other.
It's been my first experience of seeing a fishbowl thing actually today.
Yeah, I haven't seen it.
No, I think it's really good, isn't it? I like that. So if, again, someone coming in for the first time, if they haven't, they're sort of on the fence about coming or not, what sort of things can they expect to see here that maybe they wouldn't see at maybe another conference? What's maybe a little bit different here?
I find Gestalt conferences really different from other therapy conferences. There's a unique flavour to Gestalt conferences because of the way the contact happens. People are really open to, very friendly, up for contact. Good at meeting other people, and that makes it really easy to come to the conference, and really vibrant and rich and exciting because people are really up for that.
Perfect. Yeah, ready when you are.
I really liked Madeline's comment about the potatoes, which was, in the time of famine, we can fight and hold on to our potato, and actually more seeds need to be sown and more potatoes grown. We need to grow Gestalt more in the UK, so I'm really felt excited by that and passionate about that, and hope I can contribute in some way to that.
Awesome, thank you.
Once again, we've managed to create with our membership an exceptionally supportive and challenging conference. I say exceptionally, I think it's exceptionally challenging, exceptionally supportive. Great speakers. Organising committee have done very well. I have to declare my own interest, although I've just left the committee. It has been a wonderful experience being part of the organising committee for the UK HEP. Hopefully representing the members well in what we're doing. Certainly got that from the feedback today. I just highly recommend people getting involved. It's a sort of continued professional development that's co-created, and I can't think of anything else that can say it supports it more than that.
Bang on. Brilliant, thank you very much. Yeah,
is that alright?
Yeah, that's perfect, exactly what we're after. Thank you.
It's just been so great and inspiring, and Madeline's talk on how to move Gestalt therapy forward as something it's been something that I find really inspiring. And there's an atmosphere of acceptance, of having a dialogue with different opposing views. None of it feels dogmatic, which I find some other conferences where I do have that sense of them being a bit rigid. Here it feels like that sort of the principles of Gestalt are being upheld, and really it's a dialogue that began, and I really look forward to sort of continue to participate in. Yeah, it's lovely.
Brilliant.
Is that right? Yeah.
That's brilliant. Thank you very much. I don't want you to miss any.
Thank you.
Cheers.
As much as I like the fact that Gestalt is still the kid outside the system, that sort of rebels and keeps on rebelling, there is a dialogue that we need to be having about how to move it forward and make it more accessible for others. And I feel like this dialogue began today and even before, and starting from Madeleine's presentation to just sort of splitting up into small groups and engaging with each other. It's just an incredible experience.
Brilliant. I love that last sentence. That was the perfect one.
My name's Liz, and in actual fact I don't have a choice about being here. I have to be because I'm part of the committee. Having said that, even if I had a choice I wouldn't be here. I'm a bit of a conference groupie and have been for the last probably 10 or 12 years. But what I'm really noticing about this morning's conference so far is that it feels like there's a hell of a lot of energy in the room. I'm feeling it. And differently to my experience in the past, I'm noticing new faces, which I think is really, really exciting. And I'm noticing, there's an edge here that perhaps hasn't been before, which I think is great. We've never had this many people volunteer to be on the committee before, and that's just like amazing. So I think that is evidence, if you like, of why this feels like so great and so different.
So if this was somebody's first conference of this type, what sort of thing would you sort of want to say that they might want to expect coming through the door?
A warm welcome. People want to connect. We're Gestaltists because we like connecting, I believe. That's why I like it. And I think they will be met. And I suppose the warm welcome, but also wanting to hear their voice, we want to hear your voice, whoever you are around there. And this is a good place for us to hear you. And it's not about agreeing, it's just about let's hear what we all have to say as Gestaltists and respect that.
Fantastic. That'll do for me. Those two clips together, lovely.
Yeah, hi, I'm Jason. I'm an assistant tutor at Metzner Institute in London, and I'm a Gestalt practitioner.
Fantastic. So, can you tell us a few impressions that you've had about the conference here today?
Yeah, it's really great to be here. It's my second conference, and it's just nice to connect with the community and feel part of the Gestalt community here in the UK.
Fantastic. So if some people were thinking about maybe coming or not, is it a friendly place that you found, or has it been fairly sort of standoffish?
For me, it's really important that I feel part of the community and can reconnect with people. In this job, it's quite easy to feel alone, and it's so important to have the UK Association behind you so that you can connect with